You've been told that you have flat feet and there's nothing you can do about it. It's genetic, it runs in your family, and so you've just decided to live a life with flat feet. Or you've decided that you have to have the most expensive orthotics out there in order to help support your arches. Well, the majority of patients that I work with as a doctor of physical therapy, this is actually not true. There is a small case of the population that does have bony abnormalities or ligament abnormalities that do lead to their feet caving in and having no support in the arch. But most people that I work with, I find that it is just a lack of strength in your muscles inside your feet. If you didn't know already, you have 4 layers of muscle inside your feet, which doesn't seem possible, but I have dissected the cadavers and I can tell you it's true. By the way, I'm Dr. Christina, the Picky PT, and today I'm going to tell you about how to be picky about choosing exercises to improve your flat feet, which will reduce foot pain, reduce back pain, and help you with your balance overall. So if you are interested in topics like this, knowing more about your own body and how you can take control of your body's health and your aches and pains, then make sure to like and subscribe to this channel before we move on with this video. All right, so like I said, majority of patients that I work with my physical therapy practice who come to me with foot pain and say, oh, I've had flat feet, I've had them for forever, there's nothing that can be done. What I find is that they're just not using the muscles in their feet properly. And part of that is due to education and not knowing that you can use those muscles in your feet to support your arch. Part of it is due to weakness, because just like any other muscle in the body, if you never use it, then it's going to become weak and it's not going to work as efficiently as it could. So I'm gonna go over 3 exercises today that you can use in order to combat your flat feet and help yourself with, like I said, foot pain, back pain, and overall balance, so that you are not having to invest in expensive orthotics that may or may not work for you in the long run. The first exercise is going to be doing planks with your feet. Yes, that's right, you can do planks with your feet. We're also going to do heel raises, but I'm going to tell you about how to be picky about how you do those heel raises. And the last one we're gonna do is arch lifts using a simple pin in order to exercise your arches. So let's get started. So for the foot planks, you're going to need 2 weights, or at least 2 elevated surfaces that are the same width, the same height, the same thickness, however you want to refer to it. So I've got 2 plates here that are the same thickness, all right? You're going to be standing on top of these plates, and you want to spread them out so that they are the width apart, that one plate is under the ball of your foot and one plate is under the heel of your foot, okay? You're going to go ahead and put all of your weight onto this one foot. And then what I want you to make sure that you're doing is having your pelvis in line with your foot. So right now, if I'm standing like this, you'll notice that my pelvis is kind of facing this way, okay? These 2 bones in the front of my pelvis, my headlights, are pointing this way, but my foot is pointing that way. So I'm gonna go ahead and square that up and make sure that I am facing the same direction. I'm then going to balance on this foot, but we're gonna go ahead and look at the foot a little bit more closely and how to be picky with this exercise. So you wanna make sure that your toes are spread, just like in other exercises that I've taught you. And then you wanna make sure that your big toe is pressed down so your arch is supported. So just like a regular plank, you don't wanna just like let the middle sag down. You wanna be lifting the middle of your arch as you are balancing on this foot, okay? Now this can be challenging enough for some people, just balancing here and holding the arch like this, all right? If you're doing this correctly, you should feel the work right in here underneath your arch, and maybe a little bit in your hip as well, because you're making sure that you're squared up in your pelvis and you're not allowing your body to rotate this way. You're gonna go ahead and feel some of the work on the outside of your hip too. But if this is too easy for you, you can make this harder by adding a kettlebell that you move between your hands as you hold this exercise. So as you are holding this foot plank with your pelvis squared up, you can even pass a kettlebell back and forth between your hands. And as you can see, that really throws someone like me off even. And I think that I have pretty good balance usually because I was a gymnast growing up. So I think my balance has carried through pretty well for that. But this even throws me off as I do that. So if you need more of a challenge, this can add to that challenge, all right? One last thing I want you to make sure that you're doing as you're doing a foot plank is that you're weight bearing equally in the center of your arch. You don't want to put all of the weight in your heel or all the weight in your toes. You want that weight equally in the middle so you're getting the most work of the arch of your foot and you're reducing the flatness of your arch. Okay, so for the next exercise, we're going to do an arch lift using just a pen or a pencil or even something like a straw, all right? Just something about this size that you can put underneath your foot. The goal of this is going to be to lift your arch voluntarily off of the pen without cheating by rolling your ankle out or leaning over your foot so that your arch artificially lifts, all right? So we're gonna take this pen and we're gonna place it underneath the arch of the foot like so. Okay, we're going to spread those toes like we've talked about in the past. All right, we're going to lift up that arch as much as we can. And then as you are lifting, you don't have to balance for this one. You're just doing almost like a lift exercise, okay? What I want you to notice about my foot when I do that lift is that you'll notice that my foot almost like narrows this way a little bit and a little bit this way. So if it's hard for you to figure out how to press down and lift your arch, you can even think about, can I narrow my foot by lifting it off the pen, okay? So I'm narrowing that foot, but I'm doing it without curling my toes. I'm doing it without rolling my foot out. I'm doing it without leaning my whole body away. I am using my foot muscles to lift my arch up off of that pen. And if you're doing this correctly, you're gonna feel the work right underneath your arch of your foot. Another one of my favorite exercises for improving flat feet is going to be doing heel raises, but doing them the picky way, all right? So most people, when I see them do heel raises, they'll rise up on both feet and they'll tend to kind of let those ankles roll out or roll in. This is going to strain the ligaments in your ankle, which is not safe and can cause ankle strains and sprains, but also it's not going to help develop the arch of your foot. So instead, when you do your heel raises, we're gonna make sure that we're rolling through the spaces between your big toe and your second toe and rolling right through there as you go up and down. One last thing is that as you're doing your heel raises, you're gonna make sure that you're not just like rocking forward with your body as you do it. You're gonna make sure that you're going straight up with your heel raises. So a back view of the heel raises is gonna look like this. So we want to make sure that we are going between our big toe and our second toe as we do our heel raises. We do not want to roll our ankles out. So if you watch yourself do heel raises and you notice that you tend to do this, then one way that you can help that is grab a yoga block, place it between your ankle bones. So right here and right here, you're gonna place it between there, holding that yoga block between your feet and going up and down. This is gonna prevent you from rolling out because then you would drop the yoga block. And if you do this correctly, you're gonna feel more work on the inside of your arch, the inside of your calf, more than the outside that you may have been overworking when you were turning those ankles out. Now, if that gets easy for you, one way you can progress this is getting a elevated surface like an aerobic step, or you can do this off a curb or off of your stairs. You're gonna place that down. You're gonna go up on both feet, all right? And then you're going to shift all your weight over to one side without dropping, without letting that ankle roll in or out. And you're gonna lower down slowly past the surface that you are on. Put both feet down again, up with 2, down with 1, up with 2, down with 1. And like I said, what you're not gonna do is you're not going to drop as soon as you put all your weight on one side. You're not gonna let your ankle roll out because you put all your weight on one side. You're not gonna let it roll in. You have to maintain the weight between your big toe and second toe the whole way down. And this will challenge your arch even more.